Hi guys, I just wanted to go over what we talked about and worked on in class so that you have a video to reference if you ever need to do this again. In class, what we did was watch the Ferris Bueller clip where he kind of is in bed and says, life moves pretty fast." And we did a screen recording of this using QuickTime, which we're using now to record the screen as well, so that we could bring it into Photoshop and then export it as a sequence of images. And I want to go over how that is done now. If you're unsure about how to capture a video, just go ahead and reference the previous video I did on capturing something with QuickTime. But once it's captured with QuickTime, what we did was open up Photoshop and then created our new file, which was 1080 by 1080p file, which is 1920 by 1080. We went ahead and imported a new video layer under layer, video layer, so that we could set the timeline frame rate to 12 frames per second. This will give us 12 frames of anything that we pull in. And then what we did was found our video that we captured using QuickTime, using new video from file, and it was called FB. We trimmed this earlier, so you can kind of see that's what we're bringing in. And now that gives us this video across our timeline. We transformed this, Command T, or Edit Transform, and converted this to a smart object, filled the screen like so, hit return, and now we have video that we can now maybe make a little less opaque so that it's easy to trace. And then what we did was export these as a series of images. And the way we did that was went to File, Export, Video, Render Video. And this time what we did was, instead of the Adobe Media Encoder, which we normally use for QuickTime and H.264, we turned it into Photoshop's image sequences. We used 3 digits, which was like 001, 002, because this is only about 15 seconds. It's only up to like 188. The document frame rate was 12, and we went ahead and named this FB for Ferris Bueller. And it's a JPEG, was the format we decided to choose, as you see. And the work area is from 0 to 182 frames at 12 frames per second. We created a new folder for this because if we did this on the desktop, it would just fill the desktop full of things. So new folder called Ferris Bueller video or still images. And we chose that, and then we hit render. And what happened then was that the images were then exported as JPEGs into that folder. As you can see, if we open this up, you can kind of see these images, which are JPEGs now, coming in, and each one is a photograph with the correctly labeled Facebook sequence here. What we then did was handed this out to the students so that they could work on, in essence, rotoscoping each individual frame. And what it looked like in the end, so you can kind of see this, each one of the students were given 12 images to rotoscope, and you can kind of see this is some of the imagery that they did. Notice how everything is still labeled correctly. So when we assemble these all together again in order, we're going to get a pretty interesting rotoscope look. Anyway, this is a little bit how you can actually distribute a large amount of work to various people. These pages that you see here, there we go. All these images that you see here can all be printed on a printer, so these can be manipulated any way you want. These are just JPEGs. Again, sending them out and having people work on them and send them back, something you can do. And I thought it was really important for us to be able to work with these. When you're ready to import these back again into Photoshop or something, It's as easy as selecting layer, video layer, new video layer from file, and then selecting the first JPEG in the sequence. Because this is an image sequence, Photoshop will automatically know that when you pull this in, it will actually be a video layer. And you'll see right away that this is now a blue video layer that has the same properties as the layer that we just exported. As you can kind of see, if I turn everything off, it's still there. That you can now actually, if you wanted to trace, work on, write stuff on, or just continue working on. So once the images are complete, we'll be pulling these back in to see what we've got. Hope this helps.